From the very first time we walked up to the door of this place, I mean, there's an energy here that is very strange. That was a real event. There's nothing about that that could be explained by a hoax or by a trick of the light. We had a supernatural experience.
There's a lot of death that took place here. I mean, where am I going? This thing, whatever it was, wanted itself to be seen. This doesn't feel like a hotel to me. Want me to tell you what I see?
Sure.
Do you ever get afraid?
That's when I stopped looking. Before I open this door, any last thoughts, anything you want to say, or?
I got a little trepidation, but I'll be on my guard.
My name is Kim Russo, and I am a psychic medium. When I was 9, I was visited by the first of many dead people who wanted to communicate with the living through me. Realizing that I couldn't ignore my abilities, I chose to embrace them. Many people are haunted by traumatic paranormal events buried in their past. Some of these people have faces you might recognize. You've heard about their paranormal experiences. Now you are about to witness the moment they take me back to the place of the haunting in the hopes of uncovering the truth. This is the haunting of D.B. Sweeney.
This is Fort Bragg, California, which is a sleepy little seaside town. So my buddy Brian Curry and I were driving down here looking for a place to stay. It's about 7 years ago when we drove by this very road, and we stumbled upon this hotel. And we had a very interesting supernatural experience.
I'm in a small town in Northern California called Fort Bragg. And this place is so far out of the way, but it has the most breathtaking views that I have ever seen. We're on our way headed out to meet with D.B. Sweeney. He's a famous actor, and he is best known for movies such as 8 Men Out, The Cutting Edge. I get the vibe that he's like this tough guy, you know? And he plays a lot of those roles too. But I hope he doesn't come across with this tough guy attitude, because that's not going to work. That actually can rile a ghost up even more. And sometimes if they feel threatened, they're gonna come out with all the ammunition they have.
About 7 years ago, I wrote a movie called 2 Tickets to Paradise with Brian Curry, who's one of my best friends. And the movie was finished, and we decided we were going to write another movie. And this time, we decided we were going to write a thriller. We wanted to sort of stimulate ourselves by staying in some places that were, you know, different or quirky or weird. And I was pretty much throw our stuff in the car and let's just start driving south. We've been driving for a while, and, you know, we were starting to think we got to find a place to stay. So we're looking for a place that has some character to it, a history and a vibe. And we sort of noticed this place. And it was just unusual enough that it got us to stop. So we get checked into the room, we spread our stuff out, and I go to lock the door, and I notice that there's not like 1 or 2 deadbolts, but this room had 7. I thought, all right, this just gets weirder and weirder. We're just getting ready to shut it down for the night, but first we're gonna try and knock some ideas around. You know, we kind of get out these legal pads. All the curtains are closed because the street lights was kind of bright. So as we're sitting there on the bed, I look over, I notice the curtains are wide open. I said, Brian, did you open that window up for some reason when I didn't notice? And he said, no, I haven't, you know, I've been right here. And I thought, okay, so I went over there and I Thought, well, maybe we didn't close it. So I closed it. We go back to working on writing. I look over again, and the curtains are open. And I just closed them like 5 minutes earlier. These are heavy drapes. It's not something that could have like just eased open. So I thought, well, this is just a little too weird. So I closed them again, and I take a chair, and I put the chair up against the curtains, lean it against it, so that there's no way that they could be manipulated in any way to be open. So we go back to doing what we're doing. At a certain point, I get up to go to the bathroom. Come out of the bathroom, and the curtains are wide open again. They've been opened past that chair. And I said, okay, Brian, look, I know you did this.
Enough is enough, man.
So he said, no, I didn't move off this bed, I swear to you. And he was dead serious. Morning comes, and I wake up, and I'm getting ready to get on the road. And right at that moment, I just had this sensation that you know, it's like the hair on the back of your neck rises, and I look up. I'm like, whoa! And there's a woman there. She's got, you know, crazy eyes, and her face is almost like a snarl. And she's just very angry and very sort of staring. And I turned around, I said to Brian,
Do you see that? Do you see that? I see her.
and then it sort of disappears. So we're both beside ourselves. Brian and I are like, let's just get out of here. Definitely looking behind us as we leave. I was extremely skeptical of any kind of stories like this, you know, stories of the paranormal. But this was very, very shocking. It was just incredibly disarming and strange. Neither Brian or I are, you know, people that go in for this stuff, but we were definitely perplexed that this thing had happened, that we'd seen this being, whatever it was. And when something like this happens and you have another witness who can verify it, and you feel like you can't explain that away. I mean, there was nothing about that that could be explained by a hoax or by a trick of the light or by anything. When you both saw it, it changes your view of things. You think, wow, maybe there are things possible that you can't explain. Brian should be waiting for us at the hotel, so it'd be good to hear his take on this. I don't know much about Kim, I mean, I know the principle of being a medium, and I've never had any dealings with anybody in that line of work. Even though I had this incident, I remain a skeptic about the world of the supernatural. But I'm interested to see what she picks up on.
I'm not quite sure how on board DB Sweeney is today about the fact that ghosts do exist. And the spirit world likes to prey on the most skeptical people. So if the experience he had was not enough to break him down, I may have to convince DB today that this stuff is nothing to play with. There are some gruesome visions that I'm getting already. There's a vision of a woman that keeps coming through to me, and she's sad, like she has this grief-stricken energy about her. But at the same time, she's bitter and angry. There's another vision I'm getting of like this old lady, like a church lady. She keeps telling me her name is Eileen. And she keeps talking about her boy. My boy, my boy. Some other guy's coming across to me. He fell to his death. I wonder if he jumped off one of these cliffs. I mean, where am I going? Wherever this is, there's a lot of death that took place here. Here we are. not too sure I like what I'm feeling already. It didn't look like this at one time. This was different. I'm getting visions of people coming in and out of here on stretchers, like hospital, gurneys. Something happened on that roof. Something not pleasant. This really does have a creepy feel to it, though. I could see why he had an experience here. There's a little kitty cat. Meow. Meow. Hey, buddy. Where did you come from? Black and white. Yes. Okay. I feel like somebody's peeking at me outside one of these windows. And I don't mean a living person, I mean a spirit. All this beautiful outside appearances that I've been seeing is not matching the feeling that I'm getting, this heaviness on my chest. I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be resolved. All this beautiful outside appearances that I've been seeing is not matching the feeling that I'm getting, this heaviness on my chest. I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be resolved. And I don't think it involves just one person.
This is the place. Looks a little different. All right. Oh, hi.
Nice to see
Hi.
you.
How you doing, Kim? How
I'm
are you?
doing well.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Just great, just great.
This is it, huh?
This is the place.
Let's just take a little walk first to get a feel. I'd like to find out a little bit about why you were even here that night.
Well, my friend Brian and I, we were writing a movie and we wanted to try and go some places that were atmospheric and maybe even spooky. And so we, we were driving down from Canada to California along the coast and we saw this place and we thought it looked interesting.
Oh, so you were actually looking for a spooky place. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really expect to find one.
You found one.
Yeah.
Did it at all change your perspective about anything paranormal?
Brian and I are both very skeptical people, and the fact that it happened to us at the same time is kind of what reinforced both of our, attitude that this was, kind of a real event.
Is Brian joining us today?
Yeah, yeah.
It's very possible that whatever you experienced, it wanted itself to be shown.
I think that's a good way to say it.
This doesn't feel like a hotel to me. Has this ever been any other establishment, do you know?
Well, they say it was a hospital where they treated loggers who got injured back in the day.
Now, wonder, that's probably why I was seeing like stretchers and gurneys of people coming in and out, and I said it looked like a hospital. I do have somebody that joined us right now. It's somebody in spirit. I have a very strong sensation that this is your dad, but I won't swear to it until he proves it. Who's the person in your family that couldn't remember or speak at the end of their life? They couldn't speak.
Well, my dad had a stroke, and so he had serious speech issues.
Then that's who it is.
Oh, okay.
You have kids?
I do.
I see
do,
two.
Yeah. I do. I have two, yeah.
He's bringing up your daughter. She has an initial C?
Yeah, yeah.
Are they bugging you for a dog?
My daughter's desperate for a dog. You're absolutely right.
Supposed to tell you that.
Yeah, well, she's told me 1,000 times, but you're right.
Yeah.
It's her #1 priority.
He said thank you for everything you did to him for the end of his life. Like you, your wife, even your kids.
Yeah, they definitely got very involved when he was, towards the end of his life, and they were very, they had a good relationship with him even though he was, sick. And
Who's John?
John?
Yeah.
I don't have any family members named John.
There is a John. I'm sorry, he said that. I just want to see who it is. Also, he's with somebody named Margaret, Maggie, or Mary. He's with someone with that name, M.A. Somebody's trying to come through that's an M.A. name, okay? But don't think too hard because it could be someone connected to your friend who's coming.
Oh, okay.
Look at the cat. You know, cats are very sensitive to spirits. They pick up on the high vibrations that exist with spirits. And this guy's been following me before you even got here. It's like he's anticipating something or someone.
Yeah, you know what? Cats always feel like they have something else going on. They do seem like they're alert to other things that maybe we can't see. Well, maybe Brian now.
Oh, good, good. Perfect timing.
Yeah. This is Brian.
Maybe Sweeney.
Remember this place?
I do.
Yeah, good to see
Oh,
you.
hey, good to
How's
see you.
everything,
Hey,
all right?
man.
Hi, Kim Russo.
Hi,
Nice
Kim.
to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. I'm Brian.
Kim's a medium.
Oh,
And
okay.
she's going to help us kind of get to the bottom of what's going on here.
Yeah.
And she's already, I'll tell you, it's a murderer's row of spirits around here. I mean, it's a lot of action, apparently, from all the stuff she's been
Spookiest
feeling.
night of my life.
How do you feel about all of this?
I'm kind of a skeptic, I must say. I've never been a big UFO or a ghost or a spirit.
Right.
Never really, but something happened here, so
You're sure of that, huh?
I'm sure of that.
I have to tell you, I'm not doubting you by how I feel.
Right.
This is a great place you picked.
I think it's kind of interesting if all the stuff that's going on in this building is still here and they put this fresh coat of paint on it to try and trick you to something it's not.
It's drawing me in. I don't know how you feel about
Same
going
with
in.
us. See, now you get
yeah.
now you get
I'm
the feeling.
getting it,
Yeah.
right? I keep seeing the name John. Is that connected to you by any chance?
I have a brother named John that died when he was 3 years old.
I wish you didn't just
I mean,
tell
3
me.
days old.
No,
3
no, no.
days old.
John, they kept saying John, and I wasn't letting up on you, right, with the John?
No, you were convinced there was a John with me, but I couldn't.
No, but your father kept saying John, which means your father is there with his family. But before we go in there, you know, you guys are open to anything that may happen?
I don't know. I got a little trepidation, but, you know, I'll be on my guard. There's that cat again.
Where?
How did the cat get inside?
Wait, let's see what he does. And he's coming to the door.
I mean, come on. That's nuts.
It's like
Let's see.
an invitation
Sure.
or a warning.
I don't know.
Could be a
I guess
warning.
we'll find out.
Wow. Ooh. Oh my God, I think that lady is back. There's a lot of sadness in this place, and it's a lot of depressed energy when I walk through that door. Oh my God, I think that lady is back. She's for you.
Yes.
She's been with me all day in the car. She says she's Eileen.
Well, if that's really Eileen, that's crazy.
She's your mother.
That's right. My mother's Eileen. Eh?
Wait a minute, you have more than just her coming through. I just saw this bunch of women with her, and I said, who are all those ladies?
My sister.
She said, they're my sisters.
Come on.
A lot of
This
people.
is
There's a lot, like 6 girls or
There's
something.
5 sisters she has.
She's with your brother that passed.
Okay.
I feel you're the youngest.
That's right.
Wow.
Your mother's a big church-going lady.
Absolutely.
She's always praying. This lady was with me in the car, and I didn't even know you were coming.
That's amazing.
And she was playing the church organ.
Well, that's actually a piano player.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Because it sounded like church music to me, you know?
Well, a definite churchgoer. That is amazing. I'm becoming less skeptical, by the way.
All right, good.
Go on.
Places like this, you tend to have a lot more connection to things even that aren't related to this.
I can go anywhere and they'll speak to me. Because she said, I think you were a little boy, I'm not quite sure if you remembered your grandma, but she knows you. So, and I keep seeing the name Marie.
Yeah. So she was Marie, so.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah, you said, yeah, that's right.
1 minute before you pulled up, I told him there's a Mary, a Maggie, or a Marie on the other side,
Okay.
an M.A., and he didn't know who it was.
We got our antennas mixed up here. You
Well, I'm not gonna, you wanna know why? In all honesty,
Oh, there it comes.
you might be a little more closed down than your friend.
See what happens?
Well, no, he was late, but his ghosts were on time.
Yeah, but hold on. But before you, she shows me another son. Is William or Billy your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Linda.
Come on.
Linda.
Who's Linda?
Say hi.
That's my brother's wife. She just texted me, too, a little while ago.
That's why she's bringing it up, obviously.
Come on, that's amazing.
Just please give him love.
You
Please,
gotta keep your cards
I
up.
mean, really, would someone drop a script? This is crazy. This is fantastic.
please include your brother in this, and Linda.
I will.
They need to know that your mother's asking for them, looking out for them, and you don't feel retired to me, but she said you are a lot less busy than you used to be,
Okay.
but you choose it that way.
Geez, I had that conversation with you. Yeah?
How long ago? I want to hear from you.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Really? What did he say to you?
He was living in another place for a while, and he just moved back to California, and he wanted to, live his life in a different manner, less frenetic, less.
We were moving like a son of a gun. We were late for the play. Everything's. And I was like, Vivi, I'm not doing this anymore.
So you don't think your mother heard you, do you?
Wow, it's amazing.
She so heard that conversation.
Wow.
She's so happy that you're slowing down. When I was standing outside with DB prior to you getting here, I kept feeling the rooftop. There's something up there that I really want to check out.
Well, the cat went up the stairs. We could follow the cat, right?
Did the cat go upstairs?
Yeah, went up the stairs.
Yeah, maybe he's leading us up here. Yeah, let's go.
You're feeling something up here?
Yeah, whatever happened up here, this ghost might want to show me.
A little chilly.
It is.
This is the vision I got from the side street. When I was standing down there, I saw a man standing up here and actually bracing himself to jump.
When you say you see it, like it's like a fully three-dimensional
It's as if I'm watching a movie in my vision.
Did you see him hit, or you just saw him kind of go off the roof?
He hit the bottom. Yeah, he's a goner.
And then, like, when it hit the bottom, it kind of just...
That's when I stopped
lose it.
looking.
Oh.
I don't want to see that.
I don't blame you for that.
Yeah.
I'm asking him who he is. And the most I'm getting out of him is William. He said he was here the night you were here. He remembers you from that night, the two of you. Did you sense someone outside?
I did, yeah. We saw this shape go past the window. And there's a loud thump. I see it's a rolled up carpet. I thought it was a body, and
You sure it wasn't?
well, I looked out and then, yeah, I saw the rug on the grass. So,
I
but
see.
it definitely had the illusion of, when it happened. I mean,
It might answer some questions as to who it might have been that person that night. I can't tell yet. I don't know. And I still don't really want to know what happened to you because I know we're going to investigate the rest of the hotel,
Sure.
right?
Let's
Yeah.
do it. I have a question for you. I'm more concerned about how people are on the other side. How can you tell if they're happy?
I can usually tell just by their emotional way that they would come through. I really feel your mother lived her life to the fullest, and her consciousness or her mind frame didn't change. Your dad, I do get the demeanor with your dad that there were so many things that he would have liked to have said to the kids, his kids, that it was a little bit too late to say because he wasn't able to talk.
yeah, I think that's true. I think that
Oh, wait a minute. He said he helped take care of children. Was he a teacher? Better yet, maybe a principal or something?
he was a assistant principal at the end of his career, and he was a guidance counselor.
He could, because he just said, it's ironic how My job was to help children, and then he showed me like the head, like a principal. He feels he wasn't there for his kids as much as he was even for these kids on a daily basis. He says, isn't that ironic?
Well, it's just funny you say ironic's a word he used a lot.
I am saying that word a lot because it's how I'm hearing it.
Yeah, well, you're right on. I mean, with, you know, that assessment, that could have been very much what he would have been feeling.
I'm feeling drawn downstairs. Why don't we investigate the basement? I just felt something right here. It says private. Oh, all right. There's the cat.
By the way.
I felt this energy.
Don't be
Yeah,
coy.
take a look at that.
Don't be coy. Come here.
I knew something was
crazy,
going
yeah.
on here.
Come here. Show us where we're going here.
Yeah, look at that.
Show us where we're going.
Well, I know we're going towards the basement, but boy, is it getting drafty and cold.
Yeah.
It's significantly different as I'm walking, like I'm going through temperature climates. Oh, look at this.
Please.
Oh.
This room.
Wow. Stuff happened in here.
Now, what makes you say that?
I don't know, you walk in and it just feels like it sounds kind of stupid, but to me, the air feels a little heavier in here than it did even in the hallway.
It
there,
is.
You know?
Oh, want me to tell you what I see?
Sure.
Maybe this will help you. There was the medical examiner down here. And I see drawers being pulled out with dead bodies. I see a man standing there with a scalpel in his hand, opening the bodies and closing them back up, possibly even embalming them and putting fluids into them to preserve them. And I'm really happy that you acknowledged it. You're getting it.
Oh, I got these training wheels on. I'm trying to ride the bike.
Let me just see what I'm hearing. I keep hearing a woman crying. There's a sad, sad woman, and she's sobbing and sobbing. And I hear her say, "My baby, my baby." I keep hearing a woman crying, and I hear her say, "My baby, my baby. I need my baby." There's echoes of crying of this lady. She's probably the lady that was with me in the car, who was so grief-stricken. She brought us down here to help find her baby. But I'm not sensing the baby's down here. When I was waiting for you guys to get here, I was standing outside in the garden, and I looked up, and I almost felt like someone was watching what I was doing, and I didn't know if it was a spirit or a real person.
That's very much tied to our event. These curtains they weren't sheer, they were very heavy curtains, which is what made it so strange to us, is that they kept opening.
You obviously didn't have your experience down here. You had it upstairs somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, I think definitely it's time to go there. The room was this way?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I hear people screaming. Screaming in labor. This was labor and delivery. This was like midwives and stuff. This wasn't up to state-of-the-art hospital, by no means. This look familiar to you guys?
Hmm?
This is it? This is, before I open this door, any last thoughts, anything you want to say or impart?
I'm just real curious after all these little tidbits you've fed us here. I'm ready for the main course.
Oh, it's brightly lit. I didn't expect that.
I'm at it.
Look who's here.
Oh my, look at this.
Wow.
I just feel like he's here to protect us. This is a hot spot. This is where a lot went down. But does this look the same to you?
Well, the room has been redone, but
Were you scared that night?
Oh, yeah. When we checked into the room, you know, I lived in a lot of ramshackle slum apartments in New York City where you might have 2 or 3 locks. This door had 7 locks on it. You can't keep ghosts out with locks or anything like that, but you might want to keep a person who wants to do you harm. So I just started thinking, this place is weird. There's nobody else here.
How many locks does it have now? Several. Who puts 2 deadbolts? Who does this?
I don't know.
We had 2 different places to look out. I mean, what happened was that, like I said, they were real heavy velvet curtains, the kind where you have to take 2 hands and go like this to move it.
I mean, kind of like the ones that are now hanging there.
Yeah.
These are thick.
But even bigger and thicker, and they were closed. And so when I went to the restroom, and I came back, and Brian was sitting over there in his bed, and I walked
Here's
out.
the restroom.
And the curtains were open. And I said, why'd you open the curtains? And he looked over there and he goes, I never touched them. So we went back to working on this script. And then, you know, about 40 minutes go by, I look up, and I had closed the curtains.
Yeah. And there was a
And I
couch
pushed,
there.
and I
couch,
pushed
like
it.
a 2-seater couch
pushed the
there.
couch.
Oh, you pushed it so they wouldn't move.
So they wouldn't. And 40 minutes later, neither of us had gotten up out of our beds, and the curtains were open again.
You saw the woman by the curtains.
Yes.
She's here. She is the one that was grief-stricken, desperate. I'm seeing blood from this woman. This was childbirth. She's giving birth, but something's wrong. She lost so much blood that she died. Her spirit lifted up. It's almost like she was watching this whole thing go on, and all she was concerned about was her baby. The baby died right after that, but I'm not sure if she knew the baby died. So I really feel like she waited here to see, where's my baby? That's why I was hearing downstairs, where's my baby? But if the child went over and she didn't, she needs to go where the child is. Now, did you guys hear anything about who that woman might have been? Did you hear anything that sounds like this?
One theory was there was a woman who had caught her husband cheating on her, and that she was haunting the place, trying to look in the curtains and catch the guy.
That story may be true.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that's anecdotal.
The story I see, I know is true because it's just too real. When you saw this lady, what did she look like?
Very kind of translucent. And it was, you know, pale, did not look alive. Hair was crazed, you know, kind of frizzy and angry, desperate, something like that. And it was just for a second. And then I turned to Brian. I was like, did you see that?
You saw the lady too?
Yeah, no question about it.
Listen, I know how I felt during childbirth. And to say my hair might have been frizzy is an understatement.
Yeah.
Not trying to make a joke about it.
Right.
Yeah,
But
sure.
what this poor woman must have went through.
Sure.
And then you become crazy, like insane when you have no access to get to your child and you're supposed to be taking care of that child. And all of a sudden, you're leaving that child in the hands of strangers. That's the desperation of this woman and the whole mindset. And she needs some answers. I truly don't think she was out to hurt you guys at all. I just feel that she needs some answers. Something either resonates with you or it doesn't when you hear it. Does this resonate with you?
Yeah, it does.
Tell me why.
I can tell you why, because my mother almost died of childbirth. That when my brother died, John, it was a fight between who do we save, and they actually went to save him, and she really was in tough shape.
Wow.
And then he ended up going, and then she ended up coming back.
So is it possible the fact that your mother stayed this whole time, she knew this was the situation?
I was thinking about it as you were speaking about the woman that was, you know, that exact scenario happened in, I think, in 1957. Yeah.
Wow. So your mother could really relate to this lady and feel her pain and her anguish.
Absolutely, no question about it.
DB, what do you think of that?
I did not have an open mind before we stayed in this hotel about this stuff. I always thought, you know what? that's malarkey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a skeptical person who saw something that can't be explained. And so now I'm an open book about this stuff. If somebody leans across to me and says, I got to tell you this story, I hear it a little differently now.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. Open minds are good because it allows you to have an open heart as well. To have an open mind is really to have an open heart.
So can you send her some kind of message and she gets peace?
Well, you know what I just did? I just said, Eileen, if you're still here, if you can encourage her, you being there already. And then I asked your dad, could you help with this if you're able to do that as well? Because, you know, he's always wanted to focus his energy to help his own kids when he was alive. Remember he said before, but I didn't do it as much as I would have liked to. I just said to him, this would be your chance not only to help this woman, but to help you settle a score here. And now I'm telling this woman, go to these nice folks and they'll help you find your way to your baby. And she says, you promise? Like a child would say, like, really, should I? And I'm like, yes, you should. You should. Her energy doesn't have to be in this room. She can leave and her baby will be safe. So I really want to thank you, and thank you.
Very nice meeting you.
But thank you for bringing your mother along to help with this day.
Our pleasure. DB, I'll see you later on.
See you later.
It was my pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure.
You did great. What a nice guy.
Oh, he's the best.
I see why you're friends.
Yeah.
I do feel a lighter mood here. I don't know
Well, the cat seems to have settled down for the first time all day.
You're right. It's like he was going on this hunt.
Right.
Or the lady was leading him right to this room. And I think this happened kind of to show you that this is as scientific as we're going to get today. You can't really prompt a cat. You know, it's like nature.
Right. No, I've been on sets where we have animal actors and they never do what you want them to do.
All right, so what do you say we maybe go sit down somewhere and digest this and talk about it, and maybe if you have any more questions, we could get to that.
Sure, yeah. You're the leader.
Yeah, let's find a nice spot. Okay, wow. Why don't you have a seat? I'll tell you, I see a different man from when we first started. I don't know, there seemed to be a little hesitation in the beginning of the day on your part.
Hey, you know, it's always got to get through whatever the initial jitters on any kind of,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I noticed, though, like, your friend Brian, he served as somewhat of a validation for you, right?
Right, yeah.
It all boils down to trust. And I think that's, like, kind of the theme or the lesson for you as far as this experience is concerned, is trust what's out there that your mind can't really see, but your heart can feel, just accepting it for what is. And I think we did that today. What do you think?
It's fascinating what you do. I mean, you know, I thought it was uncanny the way you had so much knowledge about Brian's family, and that I'm very happy to have my dad referenced, and you know, everybody would like to have some greater connection maybe with their loved ones. So I thought it was very eye-opening.
I can't expect you to come here in one day and change your whole way of thinking.
Right.
But maybe this experience will set in as the days go on, and we'll try to get some validation on what I picked up on. If in fact there was a woman who died like that in childbirth, I'm sure there's some records somewhere to validate that, and maybe that will help you.
I recently sold a house, and it's in the real estate contract now. You have to disclose if anybody died in the house in the last 5 years. So the fact that they're putting that into contracts, that, you know, people want to know, because I guess it's come up often enough.
That just really goes to show how things are changing and people are really taking these hauntings seriously.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Awesome.
you. It was really a
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Thank you. Kim definitely had the effect of broadening my acceptance and curiosity about things that we can't explain. She pulled out a lot of stuff, especially about Brian, that, you know, you just can't, you can't really, I don't know, make it up or prep it or anything like that. So, I mean, it was very impressive. And she's an interesting lady, you know. And that was a great experience. Really enjoyed it.
Looking back, when we met DB, he was still struggling to come to terms with a paranormal sighting he and his friend Brian both experienced years ago. After returning to the hotel, we discovered that it was a grief-stricken woman who died while giving birth that had made herself known to both of them. But with a little help from the other side, especially DB's father and Brian's mother, we were able to deliver her into the light and reunite her with her child. Many people like DB are skeptical of the paranormal, and they need validation of others to confirm what they've experienced. But as we saw today, it's never too late to open your mind and your heart to the possibility that there really is an afterlife.